iFILM, London. iFILM, London.
This is Kugan Cassius for iFILM London. We're at the Capital FM Arena here in Nottingham for the press conference between Carl Froch and Yusaf Mack. With me, I've got the man responsible for putting this show on, Eddie Hearn. How are you, Eddie?
Very well, Kugan. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you, dear boy. Carl Froch returns to Nottingham to defend his IBF title against Yusaf Mack. For people that don't know much about Yusaf Mack, he's been in with the best and the people that he's lost to, Andrade, Glencoff Johnson and Tavoris Cloud. So obviously he's fought at world level.
Yeah, he has. He's a decent fighter, you know. I mean, you haven't got to pull the wool over people's eyes and say he's this, he's that, he's the greatest fighter there's ever been. You know, he's an easier fight than a Kessler or an Andre Ward. He's a tough fight. He's top 10 in the IBF. He's a light heavyweight coming down to his original weight, a weight that he much prefers. And like you say, he's only ever lost to the very best. People say, oh, is this an easy defence for Carl Froch? No, I don't think it is an easy defence for Carl Froch. This is a bloke who's coming over here to try and change his life and beat Carl Froch. And if he knows he can do that, then he will change his life. Is Carl Froch expected to win? Absolutely. And we want him to look good winning as we move forward to bigger and better things and planning sort of the back end, if you like, of Carl's career.
How many fights do you think Carl Froch has got left after this Yusaf Mack defence?
It's difficult to say because you never know what kind of fight he's going to be in the next 2 or 3 fights. You know, we're definitely obviously fighting Yusaf Mack on November the 17th. Bute's got the option for a rematch, which I think will happen at the end of March. You know, there's a big money fight for us out in Montreal. And why wouldn't Carl fancy the job? You know, he demolished him in the first fight. And then we really want to make the Kessler fight next summer. For the Kessler fight to happen here, we need to be outdoors in a stadium. We need to be pay-per-view. And I believe that it's a fight credible enough and worthy of all those things. If not, we'll go to Denmark for that fight. So, you know, Carl is a consummate pro in that he'll just look at one fight at a time. For me, I'm looking 3, 4, 5 fights down the line. But I think at this stage in his career, 3 fights is a fair assessment, if you like, of a time period where once we're done with that, you sit back and you say, right, well, what's next?
Would be disappointing for fight fans if this was Carl Froch's last fight in Nottingham and in this country, wouldn't it?
It would. It might be. I hope it's not. You know, I mean, hometown advantage is massive, obviously, in any fight. But when you get to a stage of, you know, my job is to maximise the revenue for my clients, which are my fighters. And if that means that we can make twice as much going to Montreal to fight Bute in a fight we really fancy, or twice as much in Denmark to fight Kessler, then sadly you have to do that. You know, we'll do everything we can to make sure that the big fights are here in the UK. It's what we want to deliver, but you know, the bottom line is this is a short career, and everybody who's any career, any job wants to maximise their earnings at any time to make sure they set them up for the rest of their lives. So that's what we're trying to do with Carl. And the good thing about Carl Froch is he doesn't care where he fights. Of course he wants to fight in Nottingham, but you know, if the money's over there and he goes there, he's more than happy to get on a plane and just go and have a tear up.
A bit of bromance going on in the press conference between you and Carl Froch, referred to you as handsome, and you know, you've returned a compliment, obviously. But talking to how easy is it that to promote someone like Carl, where, like I said, he's just literally interested in boxing. That's all he wants to do. So, as you as a promoter, how easy is it? He said it was easy for him because he could just get on with his job, leave the business side of boxing to you. So from your side of it, how easy is it to promote someone like Carl?
Carl is you know, he's a different animal to a lot of fighters. He's meticulous in and out of the ring, in and out of training. He's very bright, he's very intelligent. He understands the business side of boxing, yet also understands the importance of not dealing with it as a fighter. And any fighter that wants to deal with the business side of the game is a mug. Because what they do best is fight, and what I do best is promote and take care of the revenues around the fight and the revenues for Carl Froch. We both have a great respect and we understand exactly what we're good at. I'm not putting a pair of gloves on and going in the ring, and he's not going to go into a meeting and try and strike a big deal. And that's, you know, the beauty of working with Carl Froch. As a promoter, he's an absolute godsend because you know exactly what you're going to get, 120% in the camp, 120% in a fight, meticulous preparation, you know, and really, you know, Carl Froch isn't, you know, he's not someone who's about going to the premieres and putting his face around all that, and you know, that's important as well, don't get me wrong, But the message you try and put across about Carl Froch is, this is a pure fighter. This is a warrior. This is not someone who puts on, a bit of makeup and goes down the red carpet to a premiere. This is someone who gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning and goes and does his sprints, comes home as a kip, goes and does 12 rounds of sparring, comes back, goes and do an evening session, go to bed and do it again. And that's what the British public love about Carl Froch, that he's just a true warrior. And there's no point trying to create an image for someone that is just false, or is not them, or they can't be themselves. I wouldn't want Carl to go on all these this morning shows and cooking shows, and I know that's important, but Carl Froch is what he is. He's a fighter.
Also on the bill, Tony Bellew and Roberto Bellonti. You said that Mike Perez is also the ex-prize fighter champion, is also fighting on this bill. Yeah,
we're going to announce his opponent in the next couple of days. Mike Perez, the prize fighter champion, will be having a big fight on this bill. He's someone who I've admired for a while. I think he's a great fighter, really entertaining and exciting. He's going to be on, obviously, Tony Bellew in a WBC eliminator against Roberto Bellonti, 30-1. Scott Cardle, Cal Yafai, Martin Ward, Lee Wood. It's going to be another packed bill, and a couple of other interesting debuts on the bill as well, which we'll announce next week. So just looking forward to another great night. There's nothing like going to an arena and filling that arena and the anticipation of fight night. And we've got it next week with Kell Brook. Just so excited about that fight because he's just in the shape of his life. We've sold a load of tickets, and it's just that, it's difficult to explain. But as a promoter, when you go into an arena and you see people come through the gates and everyone's having a few beers and enjoying themselves, and just the anticipation for the big night, and you go back in the change room and the hands are being wrapped and all the fighters are nervous, it gives you an unbelievable buzz, and that's what you want from arena shows, and the small hall shows are great, but the big arena nights are the ones that not only look great on TV and rate well, but give everybody the buzz and make everybody realise why they're in this game. And we're going to get it here on November the 17th because we've sold nearly 80% of the tickets already. So we'll be sold out here, and we'll have probably 6,000 or 7,000 in for Brook against Saldivia. So it's great that the fight fans are coming out and embracing these big nights. And I don't think it's just fight fans. I think these are big arena shows bring the casuals as well. And I think that's important because we've got to keep growing the sport.
When can we expect a full announcement of the full card for your December the 8th show?
Next Thursday, it looks like, we'll be running a press conference in London for our December the 8th show. Really, really excited. I mean, it's called the Christmas Cracker. Excuse my French, but we're probably going to do our absolute bollocks on the show. In that
you can't swear on iFILM London.
Yeah, you've got a big censorship on iFILM London. We've got about 15 fights on, 6 or 7 title fights, just getting all the lads out, and it's like it's a Christmas party. It's a Christmas party for fight fans. I want to say thank you for your support this year, and I want to give you great value where you turn up and say, blimey, I can't believe what we've got here. 14 fights, loads of title fights. I want everyone to come up, have a great time, Christmas cheer, a few beers, and some great fights.
All right, Eddie Hearn, thank you very much for talking to iFILM London. When am I going to see you next?
You're going to see me at the Kell Brook press conference next Tuesday, and then the December 8th Christmas Cracker press conference on Thursday, and then the Kell Brook weigh-in on Friday, and then the Kell Brook fight on Saturday. So
shall I just move in?
It's going to cost me a few quid.
All right, Eddie Hearn, thank you very much for talking to iFILM London again, and we'll look forward to, like I said, Kell Brook's press conference next Tuesday in Sheffield.
Will do. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
London.